In this session of Squat School, we are going to talk about outreach activities. And now, hopefully you've watched the outreach videos before this to hear that we are an outreach ministry. And so since we're an outreach ministry, really everything that you do, every meeting, every event that you plan should be planned with outreach in mind. And you should be regularly encouraging everyone in your group to invite new moms to anything that you have going on. And also just be inviting moms that you are encountering out in the wild. In the pickup line, at school, at the grocery store, at story time, at the library, at the ballpark, when your kids are playing sports. If you are running into moms, invite her in. So some groups have decided to, in the past to plan larger outreach events. There's no requirement to do this. It's fun to do big splashy things that get attention, but engaging in things that already exist in your community, like hosting summer play dates at parks where moms are already with their kids, or doing a mom meetup at a coffee shop or for breakfast, or just simply encouraging your moms to invite someone new to the events that you're planning for your group during the year. It has a really great impact, and it is generally even more effective than those big events for getting new people into your group. And it doesn't require all the time and volunteers and budget money to do. So we encourage you to do that. It's fun to put together little kits for moms or for kids when you're out and inviting them, so that you could have an excuse to go up to talk to her. It's nice to have something in your hand. But again, not necessary, just another idea. So if you're talking about doing things in your communities, you're just looking for things that are already happening, and figuring out if there's a way that you can be involved. If you're not sure, you can reach out to me, and I can help navigate if it's something that we can participate in, whether it is a festival. Many of our towns, police departments participate and host national night out. So that's an option that happens in August, which is really good timing, around kickoffs and back to school and all of that. Farmers markets, parades, sporting events, going to the park, like I mentioned, even at the pool or the library. Just go where the moms are and invite them. It's not complicated. It doesn't require a ton of work. It's just a friendly conversation and an invitation. And that's all that outreach is. It's just an invitation to someone new. If you do choose to do a large scale event, it's critical to hone in on who you're trying to attract. If your event's for moms, make sure that you really focus in on what you can do to attract moms. If your event's for kids, knowing that the moms will come in, really focus in on building an event that's for kids, and maybe have something exciting for the moms to do while they're there. But your event should be pretty targeted towards one specific audience. Once you try to do too much, the message of your event can get lost, and then there ends up oftentimes not being enough for any one person, because we're trying to do too many different things. So just really decide what it is you want to do and focus in on that. Again, these events can capture attention and create excitement just because they're big and we publicize them, and they get some attention, but they can be a lot of work. So if this is something you want to do, just make sure that you have a solid team behind you that's ready to execute this and support this, and is just ready to run with you, because it is work. I am here to support you in anything that you do. And you will work with me directly with a number of things that do happen with some of those groups, and that is addressed more in the event planning Squad School session. Like I said, leveraging your group's existing events are just a great way to just do really, really easy outreach. you're already planning these things. You're already doing these things. You're already going out to dinner and having book clubs outside of your meetings and planning play dates at the park and going out for coffee and breakfast. Use those. That's it. That's all you need to do. Like, it's just hey, my friends are going out to dinner tonight. Do you want to join us? Or, hey, I know that you don't work today and we're going to the splash pad this morning. Do you want to join us? That's all it is. And that is outreach. That is it. That is all that it really requires. And that is all that we are expecting. But we are hopeful that this is the thing that's in the front of your mind, that this is the thing that is always in focus. How can I invite someone else? Who else can I invite? Is that mom part of our group? It is so fun to hear about the people that learn about Moms Nation just because another mom at the park or at school or at the ballpark or in her neighborhood just said, hey, you should come check out this group. Come with me. And that's it. We have so many stories that sound just like that one. And that's as simple as it is. I hear far more stories about that than I do, hey, we showed up to this really big event and I decided to come. It's all about that personal invitation. We do have a large promotional push weekend within Faith Church called Moms Nation Weekend. This is a weekend where Moms Nation is promoted across all of our locations. And we do ask you as leaders, if you are coming to church on Sunday morning at Faith Church, to come wearing a Moms Nation shirt so that you are visible and if you are able to hang out and help answer questions at the informational table, the location specialist at your location is who's going to coordinate that for all the locations that do host groups. And it's just very simple. It's just handing out information. Maybe you have some promos, giveaways, maybe there's a raffle, but it's just setting up a table, answering questions, and then cleaning up at the end of the day. This year we are also starting something new. We're giving something new a shot. We are doing what we're calling Moms Nation Preview Day. We recognize that as much as we want to invite people to get started as a new mom right, in the summer and sign up, sometimes that first meeting and all the logistics and announcements and the business that we have to get out of the way, we recognize that it's not necessarily the best meeting for a new mom to show up to. She might not get the best first impression, and we really like putting our best foot forward. So we're not changing what is expected at the first meeting and what that looks like, but what we are doing is that for the second meeting of the year, we are asking all of our groups to host what's called a preview day. There is going to be a totally different training about preview day and all that entails, but it is a centralized promotional outreach effort for every group. It basically is going to be entirely planned by staff and the central team so that there is very little that you have to do other than just being willing and ready to welcome some guests into your group. And we'll talk more about that in a different session. Finally, there are outreach funds available to all of our groups for any activities that they are involved in, any events that they're planning where outreach is at the forefront. It is the purpose. So whether or not you want some sort of gifts to hand out to people in order to invite them in, or promotional materials to have on hand, or if you are planning some sort of event or activity and you'd like to use some funds for those events where you are intentionally doing the work of inviting new people in, you can go ahead and reach out to me for just information on how much is available to you, as well as getting access to those funds. Those funds are essentially held. They're not in your group's budget, so you won't be able to see that, and they don't impact your budget at all once they're taken out. That's all Moms Nation Central money. So it's kind of special extra money that you get access to if and when you choose to do anything around outreach. Just some quick examples of what those expenses could look like. It could be candy and flyers for parades. It could be materials for an activity tent at a farmer's market or national night out or festival. It can be supplies for participating in another church-sponsored event that's not, it's not our event, it's not a Moms Nation event, but many locations are already hosting events like the Winter Wonderfest at Dyer or the Trunk or Treat at Munster or the Highland Block Party. There are lots of other things that are already going on. So if you want to piggyback onto that and are able to participate in that and need some materials and supplies for whatever you're doing in that event, we can give you some outreach money for that. And like I mentioned, even just some goodie bags to hand out to moms in the community. That is, we can put some outreach funds together to help you create those things. You can request outreach funds at any time during the year. Once the fiscal year rolls over in July and we have been given our budgets, we can start giving out money as soon as that happens. And then we do ask that you make those final requests for funds near to the end of April, unless we ask you to request them sooner in the year, just to make sure that we have enough time to go through approvals and ordering processes and design and all the work that goes through like creating things, and make sure that get those expenses submitted before the end of the fiscal year.